Hi everyone, I hope all are having a great week. Today we'll talk about how to find the right property or the next property when you already have a property portfolio. One of the best way to approach this is by crunching the numbers first in your portfolio before starting to research for properties. But before we start, I'd like to say that this is not a financial advice. Whatever we'll be discussing here is just a guide, which you can discuss with independent professionals like your financial planner, mortgage broker, or accountant, or whoever that licensed professional might be. Now let's start. So I log into Suburbs Finder and I'll click on Tools and I'll click on Proper Portfolio Analyzer. And in here, I'll type in the first property. So let's say I already have on my portfolio, I already have 4 properties. So I'll just put in the numbers here. So let's say my first property is this one. So once I type in the address here, it will pull in the address. So once I select that, it will pull in the current median price for that suburb and also the average annual growth and the vacancy rate and the median rent for that suburb. So let's say for this one, we bought it for 500,000 and made a deposit of 20%, 1,000. So my mortgage is 400,000 and then stamp duty is automatically calculated and solicitor you can edit that, and here was my purchase cost, and currently it's being rented for 550. So then we can edit all of this. Say my interest from loan is currently it's 5.7%, and it's currently valued at 650. Let's say its value, the class valuation is 750. Now you see here that my estimated available or usable equity, I have here 200 grand. Right? And my estimated cash flow before tax is negative 610, so I'm negatively geared here. And my approximate value of the property in 5, 10, 20, or 30 years time is shown in here. Now this is based on the average annual capital growth. So when you change that number, the number here will change as well. Right? So now we add the second property. So to add that, either I just click this plus button here, or I click this add more properties. So click this button here, and I'll type in the second property. And then for this one, bought this for 600,000. Yep. And then made a deposit of 110. And it's currently, say it's an old property, let's say rented for 450. And current interest rate is 5.7. And the valuation is 650. Yep. So I have equity of 30 grand in there, and I am negatively geared by 10 grand per year or per annum. Right? So let's put in property number 3. I'll add this again. The address. Yep. This one, it's the first property that we bought. It's 365,000, and then made a deposit of 75,000. Yep. And it's currently rented for 550. And interest rate again is 5.7. And then last valuation was 850. Yep. So I have here an equity of 390,000 and I'm positively geared by 5 grand. Next property is this one. So for this one, we bought it for 250 and made a deposit of 10%. And in here, since I made a deposit of 10%, I had an LMI, so say I had an LMI of 8,000, so that 8,000 I'll just add it here under solicitor and other miscellaneous, so that 3.5 grand will now become 11,500, so that was my purchase cost, and the property is currently rented at 427, so it's just interest rate 5.7. And the valuation for that is the same, 250, right? Hasn't grown yet. So in here you'll see that 2 of my properties are negative and 2 are positive. So if when we scroll at the bottom in here, it will show me the summary of the whole portfolio. So it's telling me that the whole portfolio is negative by 1,860 per annum. So the strategy would be to find a cash flow positive property with a decent growth for property number 5. So let's say go back to the main dashboard, back. So what I'll do is under performance, since we're after more on yield, I'll click on rental yield for houses. So I'll put this to, let's say, minimum of 6% and above. And then, let's say, my median price budget would be between 750 to 350. Yep. And I want to look at only, let's say, Queensland. So let's say why Queensland? Because in our portfolio, we already have 2 New South Wales, 1 Victoria, and 1 Western Australia. So we're just trying to diversify. So that's why Queensland. Yep. There's the filter. So in here, let's say we look at North Mackay. That's 6.41 rental yield. That's pretty good. So let's see the list of properties that are currently for sale. So I'll just click the middle button here, view sale listings. Click that. What it'll do is it will show me the list of properties that are currently for sale on that suburb, and you can see them as well here in the map. And I'll tick this box here to only show me the properties that are below the median price. So click that. And let's see which property are best. Okay, let's say we're buying this property here. So the address is 9 Kenzie Street, North Mackay. Let's say 9 Kenzie Street. So let's type it in our portfolio analyzer. So 9, so let's just add this. So before we add that, let's save this first, download this as a PDF. It's in there. Let's just open the PDF. Right. So this is the PDF. We can see here that we are negative 1,860. So let's just go back to our portfolio analyzer, and then let's add another column here. So the address again is 9 Kenzie Street. So let's just Mahai. Yep. So let's say it's been listed for 349. Let's say we buy it for, let's say, 349, and then we made a deposit of 75,000, and then it's rented. Let's say we had it rented for 470, and interest rate would be the same. Let's say 5.7%, and of course it's a new property. So let's say we bought it for 349, so it's still 349. So now let's check the summary of the whole portfolio. So now it's telling us that the whole portfolio is now positively geared.